Okay, hello everyone. I'm Millcreek Mayor Cheri Jackson, and we are here today with our Millcreek Police Precinct Chief, Christine Petty Brown, and we're so glad to have you here today. We are talking about back to school safety. Today was the first day back to school for many of our Millcreek students, and we recognize that going back to school, some things we've forgotten over the summer, particularly how to drive when we're around crosswalks and the things that we need to watch out for. What are some of the things that UPD is doing to kind of help remind drivers of our back to school safety?
Well, UPD and in conjunction with Millcreek, we have our crossing guards that we really appreciate. Yeah. They have a tough job. They're out there in the heat and the cold to keep our kids safe. So just be aware of them. Please always obey them. I know everybody's in a rush, usually in the mornings and even in the afternoons, but be aware of the crosswalks, where they're at. UPD, we usually do crosswalk safety at the beginning of the year. We'll get our traffic officers out to hopefully just educate. We will give a few citations if needed, but we're out there to educate, just to, you may see our marked vehicles out by the crosswalk, just to give people a reminder this is a crosswalk. So we'll be out doing those type of things as school starts.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought up the crossing guards. That really is a thankless job.
It is.
I don't think people realize it's a big commitment. It is every day, morning and afternoon, at the beginning and end of the school day. And these adults are tasked with helping our students get safely to school. And so they have to get not only the children to pay attention to them, but the drivers as well. And sometimes the drivers are worse than the children.
Yes.
They don't necessarily, stop when they're flagged down. Some of them have even yelled at our crossing guards, and we just want to remind everybody, please be mindful and respectful of our crossing guards. That is a great service that they are providing for our students and for our community, and that's, an essential part of helping kids cross some of these very busy streets. You talked about doing some citations if needed, but really it's about education.
Yes.
Flagging drivers down, letting them know in school zones, and what kind of is the parameter for a school zone? We have signs that indicate most, but what do people need to be aware of?
So there is a distinction between a school crosswalk and a regular crosswalk you'll see at intersections. A school crosswalk is striped or zebra striped. So when you have those crosswalks, that means you can't enter that crosswalk until everybody has cleared it.
Okay.
So that's a great distinction. It's important to keep those kids safe. So those kids and that crossing guard need to have cleared the complete crosswalk. Instead of like a regular intersection, when they're past you, then you can go. But that is different with the school crosswalk.
That's good to be aware of.
Yeah.
And we have all seen them on our roads around schools. Not every school crossing has a cross guard. So that puts it on the drivers to really pay attention and to be mindful of those crossing areas and of any children that may just be stepping into the crosswalk. Stop, let them go through completely before you go. What about school buses? What's the rule on school bus safety?
So never pass a school bus either way, even if you're going with them or against them the other way. If the red lights are on and the stop sign is out, do not pass them. So
and it's a pretty hefty fine,
isn't
it?
Yes, it is a very large fine. Same with speeding through a school zone. That's a very hefty fine too. So
we want people to avoid those.
Yeah.
Plus, nobody wants fines, and really nobody wants injured school children. So we've got to make sure that we're mindful of our children. If somebody is interested in being a crossing guard, how would they go about applying, or who would they get in touch with?
So on our Unified Police Department website, we're always taking applications. We've had crossing guards that have been with us for years, but we're always trying to get new ones. We need substitutes, but on our website there will be a place under employment that you can apply to be a crossing guard. And then there is some training and a little physical test you have to go through to be able to carry the sign and walk across the street.
Be out in the elements.
Yes.
And crossing guards are needed throughout Granite School District area, not just in Millcreek. A lot of our, Millcreek schools we share with Holiday, so there's crossing guards that do both, but they need them all throughout the Granite School District area. So if you have time and are interested, please go to the UPD website and fill out that application. When we're talking about speeding in school zones during the hours, most of them have a flashing sign or something to indicate. what is the speed? It drops usually in neighborhood zones from 25 down to what? Is it
20.
To 20?
Yes.
Which still is fairly fast. So I would even encourage drivers to go slower.
Go slower, yes.
Particularly if you've got kids that are on scooters or bikes. They're not always aware of cars around them, and they're in the road and think sometimes that they have that they can go anywhere they want on the road. So be really, really careful of of kids in those areas. And when you are passing other cars or things, just be really mindful. Kids, if there's cars parked on the road, watch and make sure that you're going super slow, because sometimes kids will dart out in traffic if they don't know to look between cars. Is there anything else that you would encourage or want to share with
Yes,
residents?
we always talk about distracted drivers, but we have distracted pedestrians, distracted kids, kids on their cell phones, looking down and not paying attention and walking out. Never trust a driver, never trust a pedestrian, always look twice. So encourage your kids, get off your cell phones, pay attention when you're crossing the streets. Because we've had incidents where we've had kids on their cell phone and their head down and just walking out into the street. So talk to your kids about safety, crossing, always look to the crossing guard. If there's not a crossing guard, look twice, look 3 times each way before you cross, and make eye contact with that driver.
That's good advice, because our public works director will say a crosswalk is, people have a false sense of safety in a crosswalk.
Yes.
Because they think drivers are paying attention to them, so they don't always pay attention to the drivers. But it's incumbent on everybody to pay attention to the crossing and to look as you're entering that crosswalk, like you said, get the driver's attention, make sure you've had eye contact so they're aware of you as you step out into the crosswalk. Anything else you would like to add before we wrap it up?
Just, once again, drivers, just pay attention. Get off your phones. Don't be messing with things in your car, especially around crosswalks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And everybody, we wish you a great start of the school year, safe walking to and from school, and we look forward to being with you next month for live video. Thanks.